Hi, and welcome to Zack vs. the Blu-ray Mountain, and today we have a special guest for us today.
I'm Mr. Lee. Thank you, Zach.
And today we're talking about two things that I really wanted to cover. I know there's some other things out there that we could be talking about, but I really wanted to cover Neil Blomkamp taking over the Alien franchise and Spider-Man coming to Marvel. Alright, so give me your thoughts on Neil Blomkamp, the director of District 9 and Elysium, and the new movie, Chappie, taking over Aliens.
Well, you know, I've never seen the new Chappie movie. This is going to be a hit or miss. Neil has been proven to be very worthy of what he does, but for him to direct an Aliens movie, that's going to be a hell of a weight on his shoulders. This is going to have to be done right, as we've seen previously in the past. It can be easily messed up. No examples needed there.
Alright, I'm just going to throw this out here, and I might get crucified on the internet for this, but I'm actually a fan of Alien 3.
So am I.
And I'll agree with you that I hate Alien 4 Resurrection. No, there is no Alien 4. It does not exist.
I was about to say, what Alien Resurrection? No, I agree with you. I do like Alien 3. That, by itself, that was a decent movie.
Could easily be a standalone film.
Yes, it could, and that leads me to what I was going to say there. They're doing a very ballsy, I don't know if that's a right way to say it, on completely disregarding the other movies. They're going to take the Alien franchise in another direction, a direction that it should have went in. Well, the Alien franchise is always known to be, that's its origins was dark and gritty.
Being that the first one was a horror film and the second one was more of a action thriller.
It was a horror action thriller, though. I mean, you still had elements of the first movie within the second one.
Well, from what I've gathered, this could be really cool because Ridley Scott did the first one, right? Mm-hmm. And then the film was handed off to a different director, James Cameron. And I think he's a superior sci-fi director. Terminator 2? Come on, dude.
But you're also forgetting they handed them off to superior directors. Neil hasn't quite been... I wouldn't count him as a superior director. And we've all seen what happens to an alien movie when it's not handed off to someone who doesn't know what to do with it.
Okay, you're talking about superior directors handed off to a superior director. Mm-hmm. I have one word for you. Prometheus.
Now, Prometheus wasn't that bad of a movie.
It's not that bad. But there are some YouTube videos out there that I've watched. There are over 40 minutes talking about the holes in Prometheus.
Yes.
I personally own the Blu-ray of Prometheus. I've watched the movie twice. And being that I watched the Alien movies years ago and just saw Prometheus not too long ago, I actually really enjoyed Prometheus. I thought Prometheus, as its own, was an awesome sci-fi film.
By itself, yeah, it is. Now, that leads to another question, though, on what are they going to do with this new Alien movie? I mean...
Were they going to tie it into the Prometheus? Will it be connected to Prometheus 2, which Ridley Scott is making Prometheus 2?
Oh, so that is confirmed.
Yes, that is confirmed.
It's an interesting direction on which they're going to take it. I mean, I'm sure a lot would agree with me on that one. But I don't trust him.
I believe in the fresh blood to take. I actually like remakes. I prefer remakes sometimes if the movie is done right. The Dredd remake, Judge Dredd. Come on, Sylvester Stallone. I'm the dog.
Hey, I like that movie.
Who doesn't like that movie?
We've seen too many times what somebody could do with these Alien movies. They have to be handed off to the top. Only the best can handle this.
Or tell me another sci-fi director.
Another one? In what context?
Another one that you think could make a good Alien movie now that you've heard of.
That I've heard of?
Yeah.
None!
See, he's the only choice for some people.
Now I get what you're coming at. But the thing is, though, I mean, like what we were mentioning earlier, it's not a remake, though. It's a redirection?
It's kind of like what they're doing with the new Jurassic Park or the new Terminator movie. Or what J.J. Abrams did with Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They could easily go that direction. I've never heard that they're doing that, but
they could.
If it's a direct sequel to Aliens, I personally think that Neil Blomkamp is the best choice as of right now. And
only choice.
I really liked Elysium. You haven't seen it yet, but
no, I have not.
I thought that it was a great action sci-fi film. It's definitely got the whole Neil Blomkamp universe type feel to it. It reminds me of District 9.
I don't, but Neil Blomkamp's style is not the Alien style, though.
Well, if we're going to like fantasy directors to take on Aliens, Steven fucking Spielberg. I'd love to see it. He can take some truly,
yes, he could,
truly terrifying sequences. Do you remember the T-Rex when the T-Rex first showed up in Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Spielberg has proven that he can direct anything. He's done anything.
Steven Spielberg. Did you know Steven Spielberg basically invented Call of Duty?
That's awesome.
That is.
You know who I want?
Who?
George Lucas. No, I'm kidding.
But no, Spielberg, yeah, I could see him being a good director. What exactly, what's the storyline they're going to take on this series, on the new Alien series?
Well, I've heard that the original actress that played Ripley...
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah, she's coming back as Ripley.
She's old as shit.
But she was in the cryo chamber.
What, are they going to get stranded out on the Sulaco or something? I don't know. You know what they could do? I don't think anyone's even thought of this. You ever play Aliens Colonial Marines? Oh, everybody hates that game. Oh my god, why'd you have to mention that game? Oh, it's just Call of Duty in the Aliens universe. Well, you know what? It was a fucking awesome game. I loved it. I really did.
Alien Isolation.
I've yet to play that.
Fucking hard as hell, but still.
So I've heard. But Aliens Colonial Marines, it is actual canon to the storyline. It is. Fox even acknowledges that it's canon. So they might even take a spin-off from that. Direction of that. So...
This would be pretty sweet.
It'd be more of a conventional war instead of against aliens, but...
Nah, we need aliens. We need straight up aliens. I want to see people getting fucking killed. You know, if they're going back to the roots of Alien, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see all the eggs. I want to see the queen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this shit.
I want people's chests exploding, tongues with mouths on it going through people's brains.
I definitely want to see that.
Ripped in half.
I definitely want to see people cosplaying of chest bursters. That would be awesome.
Oh, and I motion sensors.
I mean, you can use my motion sensor.
Yeah, we need motion sensors.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Spider-Man. The disaster waiting to happen.
I don't know, dude. Spider-Man's now in Marvel's hands. I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, they're disregarding other movies that are being produced right now. Imagine watching that as a little kid. As a little kid liking Spider-Man, but your brain is not quite adept at processing that. You're going to see two different Spider-Man movies, and you're both going to think they're related. But they're not going to be. Think of it this way. It'd be like introduced to the Michael Keaton Batman, and now the Christian Bale Batman. A little kid thinks that they're both the same movies, and that the continuity, they're both canon to each other. They're not. They're all completely separate. You know what I mean?
What about the first trilogy of Spider-Man movies?
What do you mean?
The Sam Raimi trilogy?
Same thing, and now we're adding more to that. And
they already added 2 movies to it.
They did, yes, which... whatever, but now you're going to have other movies that are still being made, and now...
Alright, now, here, I've talked about this quite a few times. Marvel could be the White Knight here. We could actually have a Batman and Robin situation. Not saying that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was as bad as Batman and Robin, because it's not. It actually looks like the Dark fucking Knight compared to Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah.
But this is what I'm thinking. Joel Schumacher was not the director to do Batman Forever or Batman Robin. I guess Joel Schumacher's kind of pissed off at me for saying that. But, I don't think that he was a director for those films. And then it took how many years for Christopher Nolan to come in and 2005 do Batman Begins.
That's about 7
And that was a gamble by DC to do that movie.
Yeah.
And look what happened. Batman, The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger gives one of the best performances I've ever seen as the Joker. The Dark Knight Rises. Considered by some not the best in the trilogy. It has a couple holes, but it's still a good movie. But here, Marvel could be the White Knight. They could come in and make an awesome Spider-Man movie by coming into Sony and be like, listen, this is how it needs to be done. Spider-Man is being lent to them for the Avengers and that type of thing.
Which is even worse.
I don't agree with you on that.
This is one of those times where I say, oh, don't bitch about the economy because they have all the money in the world to dump on this. How much they invest in this Spider-Man Sony deal?
Oh, it's billions. This is a huge deal.
Billions. They got billions to waste. Not even wait. Well, it's going to be a waste.
Sony's like, hey, throwing up the white flag. Come and save us, Marvel. We need you to come in here and give us a lot of money so we can still keep making movies.
Or they could be baiting them, or who knows?
I personally did not have any problems with The Amazing Spider-Man or The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
But this idea that they're doing, I mean, what are they hoping to accomplish?
I think it's fan
to
service.
accomplish?
It's fan service. Everybody wins here. Sony gets money, Marvel gets Spider-Man, and then we get Spider-Man and the Avengers.
And then we get disappointed because they fuck it up.
Marvel could save Spider-Man, in my opinion. They could bring Spider-Man back to the prominence. He's Marvel's Batman.
I know.
And they wanted him back. So there's like, hey, we'll give you all the money for the profits for the Spider-Man, but we get him for our movies. You know what I'm saying?
Any idea what movies are going to even use him for? I've heard rumors, but nothing really confirmed.
I've heard rumors that he's going to be in Captain America Civil War and one of the Avengers movies.
Yeah, I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this one, but that's just fucking stupid.
I remember our conversations about this. I really liked the fact that Spider-Man was getting his own Spider-Verse. And
that's exactly the point I've been trying to make.
But all the fans are like, oh, wait, they should make all these movies. They should bring all these characters in. Let's get the X-Men back and all that. You will never see that.
I never wanted to see that either, because, I mean, at the same time, here's another thing that's been bothering me with these movies. I think one of the reasons why they're so good is they add how do I say this last time I said, a touch of realism. I mean, let's be honest. If you've seen the movies, you're most likely you've seen the comic books. But the comic books are just completely, they're comic books. But the movies, they add a little sense of realism. Now, if you have a bunch of superheroes and stuff swinging around, you're going to need to balance it with other supervillains swinging around at the same time. And then right there, you don't even have reality anymore. You just have a comic book on a TV screen. And we all know how that turns out. It turns out as a disaster. Batman and Robin, forever. The Avengers, they made a risk mixing them together, and it worked. And
now it's created this huge beast, and now there's a new Marvel movie every year. DC's busting their ass to try to keep up. And that's a whole other video right there. About that. I don't understand what you're getting at here. Be honest. Marvel movies, superhero movies in general, they come out in the summertime. They've taken over for the blockbuster movies. They've taken over for the action films.
All it is just something to make money with, and they know that people are going to fall for it.
It's the thing now.
And
action movies was the thing back in the 80s and 90s, and now superhero films have taken over. They're pretty much action movies with guys in costumes. But what do you think? Peter Parker? Spider-Man? Older? Since they're not doing an origin story? Could he already be married to Mary Jane at this point?
Yeah, I would say... Actually, yes, that could work. A little bit of an older star, maybe even beforehand.
I don't think we should go much younger, because we just saw the Gwen Stacy stuff. And
in another timeline of movies.
It's just too fresh in the people's minds.
Oh, definitely.
That I kind of peg that you're not going to see Gwen Stacy in these new ones. It's probably going to be Mary Jane. And we already talked about this before. Mary Jane was cast in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shailene Woodley and all of her scenes were and all of her
Horrible
scenes were
choice.
cut. So,
Horrible choice.
well, I can see where her scenes were cut then. I could see an older Spider-Man a little bit more, you know, he's been doing the superhero thing for a while. But where was he when the aliens attacked New York?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. That's one thing that's going to drive me crazy. Once again, continuity on that. Oh, the aliens attacked New York. Where the hell was he at this whole time this was going on?
I don't know. Somebody shows up.
Exactly my point. They are going to screw it up. There is no way to do it. It can't be done. They're going to dick it up, and they're going to come... You know what? This is going to ruin all right, superheroes.
He wasn't.
Ruin it.
Here, he wasn't Spider-Man when that happened. He didn't have powers yet.
Oh, so now we need another origin story.
No, you don't need an origin story. Who knows what the sub-storylines are going to be in Captain America Winter Soldier, okay? Who knows? Maybe he wasn't Spider-Man during those times. When the aliens were coming down and Loki was trying to take over the world. Maybe he wasn't Spider-Man yet. They could have flashback sequences in Captain America Civil War. We don't know. We're speculating about things we don't even know yet. So, we could very easily have flashback scenes told by Peter Parker as to where he was and what happened to him without having Uncle Ben in the movie, without having Aunt May in the movie, without having any of that.
No. Spider-Man is like a stripper. Awesome stripper. Everybody wants a piece of.
Well, I've always wanted a piece of Spider-Man.
Couple people got the lap dance from like the most brilliant stripper in the entire club. Now the whole club wants a piece, and now it's going to devalue everything. Everything. No, I hate this idea. This is a disaster.
Here's something that I think we both would agree, and this is what I'm going to kind of wrap this up with. We both would agree with J.K. Simmons coming back as J. Jonah Jameson. Come on.
Yeah.
See, that would have been awesome.
I can't agree with that.
And with that said, I guess that concludes this edition of Zack vs. the Blu-ray Mountain.